Secretary Levine, the Department of Health is responsible for overseeing Pennsylvania's medical marijuana program, including licensing growers and dispensaries. The process by which licenses to grow and sell medical marijuana were issued has been shrouded in secrecy, and the Department of Health has waged a years-long crusade against right-to-know requests, asking how the state chose to hand out these very valuable licenses. The January 29th Penn Live article detailed the Department of Health's latest appeal to the Pennsylvania Supreme Court, this time of an order the Commonwealth Court issued back in June that ruled the Office of Open Records was justified in requiring the department that you oversee release names and information regarding those running and financing medical marijuana operations and the identities of the individuals who reviewed the first application of medical marijuana permits. I think the department's position here is really remarkable. Why the veil of secrecy? What is the Department of Health trying to hide by refusing to release information that multiple courts have ordered sunshine to the general public?
So I'll defer to my attorneys in terms of some of the specific legal issues. A lot of it has to do with the contracts and the applications and the type of quote-unquote proprietary information that are in those applications. That if we release the information, if we released a lot of the names, then we would get sued by them. So my understanding is that from our attorneys is that in some ways, if we did release the information, we'd get sued, and if we didn't release the information, we get sued. And so the overall tenor has been...
With all due respect, the state is sued all the time for all sorts of reasons.
I understand.
And the concept that, I mean, we have folks bid for all sorts of contracts, the lottery, the PennDOT, anything, you name it. I mean, wouldn't you agree that a state license to grow or dispense medical marijuana is of significant value?
A state contract to grow or dispense medical marijuana?
State license.
State license.
That's of significant value, wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
All right, so isn't it in the public interest to know who reviewed the applications, if not simply to ensure there wasn't self-dealing?
We do not usually release the names of the reviewers of different contracts. So this is really, our process followed all of the same processes that any type of contract has, any type of request for applications, and we have different state officials review them. We don't routinely release the names of those state officials.
Why the latest?
But in the end, in terms of releasing the names, in the end we did release the names. The court asked us to release the names of the reviewers, and we did. So there are a couple of different lawsuits that have happened. When the court asked us to release the name of the reviewers, we did. In terms of some of the proprietary information in the contracts that have also been, and in the applications, a lot of it had been redacted by the applicants. And the view from our attorneys has been that would violate their confidentiality, and so the state has taken that.
So I read that in the article. I thought that was even more remarkable. The state is allowing the applicants to say what should and shouldn't be shielded from Pennsylvania taxpayers, citizens, and the Office of Open Records?
Again, I'll defer to my attorneys.
You're in charge of this department. I think that's a remarkable statement. Why the latest appeal to the Supreme Court? Why wouldn't you simply release the information that multiple courts and the Office of Open Records has repeatedly asked you to release?
We'd be glad to meet with you to discuss that with our attorneys.
I think that's a remarkable statement. Mr. Chairman, I have no more questions.